Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If it is your first time here, my name is Anne. I mainly talk about fragrance videos, but also kind of do singing and possibly some fashion and home in the future. But if that is something that interests you, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate every single person that watches my videos or leaves comments and support me on this channel and in my journey. So I appreciate you and thank you for staying with me. Today is a super exciting video because I will be talking about perfumes that I would like to purchase. So I have condensed this list and I think there's around 20. It's still a lot, but I will try and quickly go through it because I don't want this to be super duper long. So if that interests you, then stay tuned. I previously owned Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, the original version. Absolutely loved it. I went through it really quickly. It is a lavender, aromatic, vanilla fragrance. And I know that sometimes that lavender note can be a little bit polarizing for some people. Some people don't like it. But I loved this fragrance and I want it back in my collection. And it is super versatile. I wear it at work, I wear it during the day, I can wear it in summer, but I can also wear it in winter. And I find that is amazing when a perfume can be so versatile and work in many different occasions. The word that comes to mind when I think about this perfume is beautiful. I think it is a beautiful fragrance. I don't think it's particularly sexy. I don't think it's particularly loud. I just think it's beautiful and elegant and almost subtle. The intense version is, like the name suggests, more intense, but not necessarily on all the notes. So the lavender is almost toned down in this, and the vanilla and amber and benzoin, it's the warmer kind of base notes come more to the forefront. So I really enjoy this intense version. It does have a note of licorice, but I don't smell it, and I hate licorice. So when it's in a fragrance, I can't do it, but I didn't smell it in this one and I loved this fragrance. So I definitely think the intense version needs also to be in my collection. The intense version is, I feel, more tailored for the cooler weather. So autumn and winter, which we are heading into now. Like, I am wearing a long sleeve woolen top inside the house. Like, what is happening? I do feel like the Mon Guerlain original I can wear any time of the year, and I also need. So that's my first one, Mon Guerlain Intense and Mon Guerlain Original version by Guerlain. Okay, the next one are two cheapies. So I have got on my wish list Jessica Simpson Fancy. And I am not a perfume snob. So if a celebrity fragrance smells divine, I don't care that it's a celebrity fragrance. I will add it to my wish list. I will want to own that fragrance. So Jessica Simpson is a sweet, fruity fragrance, very sweet. So perhaps if you're not into sweet fragrances, I think you might not like this. But it is getting cooler here and I am craving that sweetness. I have smelt this perfume on a friend of mine, and every time she wore this, oh, I complimented her. She smelled really good, and I definitely smelt that apricot. Like, it's almost like a sweet, jammy apricot, but there's also like caramel and praline and vanilla. It is a sweet fragrance. So a fruity, sweet, likable, cheap fragrance. So why not? You know, I want to add it to my list. Also, this performs so well in the cooler weather. So for a celebrity fragrance, for any fragrance to really be able to cut through that winter cool weather, I think is fantastic. So another plus, so that is Jessica Simpson Fancy. Another affordable fragrance that is on my wish list is Michael Buble by Invitation Rose Gold. Wow, this perfume, one of my best friends wears this perfume, and every time she wears it around me, I compliment her. She smells so comforting, so sweet. And I really wanted to add it to my collection because I think it will remind me of her, but also I just think it's, sometimes you want those fragrances, something that's more affordable that you can put on when you're relaxing at home or even when you're going out, because the projection in this is insane, and not worry about it, not think about it too much. It's just an easy grab and go fragrance for the winter time. Another sweet fragrance, a little bit powdery. It has got a base note of praline, vanilla and cinnamon, so really like warm, spicy, it's not really spicy though, it's almost like warm, powdery, sweet fragrance, and definitely I think a great addition to my collection. So that is Michael Buble by invitation, the rose gold edition, not the original one, the rose gold one specifically. This next fragrance is iconic, and it is Alien by Thierry Mugler. This is almost has a cult following in the fragrance community. People really love this fragrance. It is predominantly a jasmine fragrance, jasmine, woody and amber fragrance, and I really love jasmine as a note. I think it is beautiful. I do think it's clean. It's a clean type of jasmine, a little bit soapy, but also sexy. Like, I find that quite odd that it's clean and sexy at the same time. I also think that perhaps not everyone can pull this off, and definitely it is a somewhat polarizing fragrance. I think some people love it, and when you love it, you absolutely are a die-hard fan of it, and some people really dislike this, the jasmine note and this fragrance in general. I really enjoyed it, and I think I could probably pull it off. I think it's definitely giving like bad bitch vibes. So perhaps if you're feeling a little bit shy and cute that day, don't put this on. It's more like powerful and almost doesn't care. Like, if you've got that, you know, I don't care what people think, I'm feeling powerful today, I want to step into my dark feminine energy. That is the perfume I think that would suit that. That is Alien by Thierry Mugler. Definitely want to add that to my collection. The next fragrance I have is Carolina Herrera Good Girl, and you either love it or you hate it, or like in the fragrance community, you love to hate this perfume. But for me, it's a love, and I have a little small sample of it here, and it is quite a weird perfume in the sense that it doesn't fit into a particular category. It is a mix of so many different notes and kind of type of fragrance. It's sweet, it's sexy, it's clean, it's powdery, it's floral. Like, there's a lot going on, but I really enjoy it, and to me, it projects so well, and I love perfumes that perform well. I don't really want to add a perfume into my collection if it doesn't perform well. It's just nice to know that once you spray it, it will last for 7 to 8 hours. I do like that in a perfume. It makes me want to buy it if it performs really well. So this perfume, I think, smells really sexy. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it smells sexy to me. I showed this to my sister. She thought it smelled like Dove soap. To be honest, I can see what she means, but I still really enjoy it. And it's not a love for me, but it's a strong like. I really like this fragrance. Yeah, it's sexy. Like, it really, I don't understand why people hate on it so much. So that is Carolina Herrera Good Girl. Another one I want to add to my collection, also by Carolina Herrera, and that is Very Good Girl. So that is in that red stiletto heel. I don't mind the bottles. Actually, I don't think it's a little bit tacky, but I kind of enjoy it. This perfume, I don't understand why it's a flanker of this Good Girl, because they don't smell alike at all. So this should just be a perfume, a different perfume altogether, because it doesn't smell alike. But Very Good Girl smells like, it has the main notes that step out to me are rose, lychee, and a little bit of vanilla in the background, and I really enjoyed it. It's not particularly complex, but it's nice. It's just enjoyable. It's sweet, it's floral. There's a bit of that freshness with the lychee. You know, sometimes you just want a fragrance that just doesn't need to do too much, and it's just nice, you know. The notes are somewhat similar to Parfum de Mali Delina. You know, it's got that rose, it's got that lychee. I think that lychee is starting to pop up in a lot of designer fragrances after Delina, because it was so popular and it's done so well. And I don't think it smells like Delina, because Delina is just in its own category, but I do think it's sort of similar. I mean, it shares similar notes. Obviously, it kind of reminds me of it. But yeah, it's a designer version. It's more affordable, more accessible to people. So I really like it. Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, I think, is really nice. And yeah, definitely something to consider if you want to add a nice daytime rose perfume, but it doesn't smell like a grandma rose. The next fragrance I would like to add is Light Blue Intense by Dolce & Gabbana, and this perfume is a citrus perfume, so probably not that good for wintertime right now, but for warmer weather, oh my gosh, I had the original light blue and it just sucked in performance. A lot of people don't like citrus fragrances because it reminds them of cleaning products. I am not that person. I love citrus fragrances, and this I feel is almost like a sexy citrus, and I feel like that's very difficult to achieve. The main sort of notes that you get from this is like citrus, lemon, maybe some green apple. It just smells delightful, and it is super appropriate if you live in a warmer climate like in Australia in the summertime. You want something to wear on a really hot, sticky summer day. This is what I reached for, and definitely worth having in my collection. I think it's super versatile, it's sexy. You could wear it to the gym as well. You could wear it during the day. You could wear it casually, you can wear it at home. Yeah, I just feel like there's lots of, it's very versatile. So yeah, Light Blue Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. Definitely something to consider. So the next fragrance is La Belle by Gaultier, and I absolutely love this fragrance. My beautiful friend wears this fragrance. I think it's one of her signature scents, and every single time she wears it, I compliment her on it. It is stunning. It is a pear vanilla vetiver fragrance. It's sweet, it's sexy, and I think it projects so well. Yeah, I really like it. I want to add it to my collection. It's not going to be my signature scent, because if one of my friends is wearing this sort of perfume, to me, I associate it with them, but I still would like to add it to my collection because I'm a fragrance lover. So I do think I would wear it, but maybe just not around them. Yeah, La Belle Le Parfum, I think, no, sorry, La Belle the original. I don't like the Le Parfum. I much prefer the original version, and yeah, I definitely think it is a beautiful fragrance that you could wear in wintertime, the cooler weather, maybe even in summer. Honestly, it's versatile because it has that pear, but it's got a bit of body with that vanilla. Like, it's got something that grounds it, that vanilla and vetiver, and makes it a little bit interesting. So yeah, that is La Belle by Gaultier. I have also, on a whim, tried Dior Poison Girl. That was, I had such little expectation of that. I was just in a store and I sprayed it on my wrist, and for the next 30 minutes, I kid you not, I kept sniffing my wrist. I could not stop smelling my wrist. It was addictive, and I don't remember if it was the Eau de Parfum or the Eau de Toilette. I think it was the Eau de Parfum. It was this gorgeous vanilla fragrance, like so cozy and strong, and honestly, I just loved it. So that was a surprise for me because I did not expect to like it so much. But Poison Girl, oh my gosh, by Dior is also on my wish list. Jumping into the niche category of perfumes that I have smelt and sampled and I want to purchase, I would like to purchase. First one, I'm sorry, Parfum de Marly Delina and Delina La Rose, the rose version, the newest version of Delina. Those two quickly became, I actually think it's going to be my next perfume I'm going to purchase. I love them so much. It's a fresh rose fragrance. I've talked about it in my previous videos, and I really think it is worth the hype. It is in its own category. Delina is just, I think, a masterpiece. If you're trying to get into the niche world and are a little bit nervous to delve into the more kind of complex world of niche, I think Delina is a great, well-rounded, well-liked fragrance. It is honestly fantastic, and the rose version I actually think is more suited to summer. It will brighten your mood, and yeah, I definitely think Delina is a little bit more versatile. So yeah, that is Parfum de Marly Delina and Delina La Rose, both on my wish list. Unfortunately, they're so expensive, but I need to have them. The next fragrance I would like to add to my collection is Creed Aventus for Her. And I had bought this, or I bought a few samples, and this came in my little box and it blew me away. Honestly, oh my gosh, it is stunning. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's only a tiny bit left, like that much left. It is so good. The opening is quite sharp, and you know, it's got like a citrus opening, and it is, yeah, quite sharp. This projects like a monster. Oh my gosh. This really, you only need 1 or 2 sprays. It is 430 Australian dollars, but I think it's worth it simply because 1 or 2 sprays and you're good. More, you will choke people out. You got to be careful with this one. Every time I wore this fragrance, I got complimented, and I did not want to like this simply because of how expensive it is. It's fruity, woody, not particularly floral, not really sweet, but a little bit spicy. It's quite different from the sort of fragrances I tend to gravitate towards, but I really enjoy it. So that is Aventus Creed for her. This next fragrance is one of my favorite discoveries of this year, and this is Hermetica, I don't know how you pronounce it, Fig Fever, and I have got a little sample of it. Again, I did not purchase this. It was just a bunch of samples that I got for free because I purchased some other perfumes, and I've sprayed it on my wrist, and it is so good. Like, I'm so surprised no one has talked about it, but I'm kind of glad because, you know, I feel like it's my little secret. Obviously, I'm sharing it with you. I am really intrigued by the brand Hermetica, I don't know, because it is a clean fragrance brand, and it is also alcohol free, which is super interesting to me. Also, I hear that they sustainably source and grow their ingredients to then produce their perfumes, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, just the brand itself and its ethos, I really, really love. I think it's really innovative, and I love brands stepping out of the box and doing good for our community and our society and our world. So I really appreciate that. But the fragrance is beautiful. It's quite difficult to describe. So it's definitely fruity. You definitely get the fig, but the black currant in the opening, I really, really smell that. And it reminds me of bubblegum. And it's also green, it's fresh. And actually I wore this, on one wrist. I wore Fig Fever, and then I wore Delina, and I love Delina, and I think I actually prefer Delina, but my co-workers preferred Fig Fever, so that means anything to you. I definitely think if you want a niche perfume that's kind of not really talked about, definitely get Fig Fever. And also you're supporting this niche brand, which I really align with their values. The next fragrance that I would like to purchase in that niche realm is BDK Ce Soir, and I think Demi Rawling kind of introduced this into the fragrance community. Maybe other people have, but she has such a high platform, and that's the first I heard about this perfume, and I really love this perfume. It is a sweet, fruity fragrance, perfect for summer. I also think it's quite rare to have a fruity fragrance that doesn't smell juvenile and really young and kind of immature. It is a grown fruity fragrance and super sexy. When I wear this, I feel really, really sweet, alluring, but not young when I wear it. And I really love it. I think it's so well done. It really was a love at first sniff, and the performance was average, which was really upsetting, but the fragrance is so good that I don't really care about the performance, and that says a lot. So yeah, BDK Parfums Ce Soir, so high on my wish list. I have got 2 fragrances from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. The first one is Gentle Fluidity Gold, and I did not think I would like this fragrance so much. I am hearing a little bit more about Gentle Fluidity Gold in the fragrance community, and when I smelt it in store, the opening reminded me, I have Intense Cafe by Montal. The opening reminded me of Intense Cafe, but just a way more toned down version because Montal is very strong. And I enjoyed it, but I was like, oh, I don't think I need to have it because it just reminds me of a toned down version of Intense Cafe. But as the fragrance settled, it turns into this really cozy and kind of elegant vanilla, and I couldn't stop smelling myself, and I was so annoyed because I'm like, oh, this is, you know, I didn't want to love this perfume. Again, price tag is quite high. for a vanilla fragrance, but it is just so good. So yeah, that's on my wish list, Gentle Fluidity Gold. The other perfume, which took me by surprise by Maison Kurkdjian, is Oud Satin Mood. I did not think I would like this. I didn't think I would love the oud because, you know, it can be quite sharp and very polarizing, but I bloody love this perfume. It is so good. And when I sprayed it, I thought it was really sharp, and I kind of did get that burnt tire smell. But after a while, that dissipated, and I got this beautiful, I mean, it must be oud, but it was like this sexy fragrance. And I sprayed it on my jacket maybe 4 weeks ago, and to this day, it smells like Oud Satin Mood. The performance on this fragrance alone makes me want to buy it. It is expensive, but I definitely think it's worth it. It's been 4 weeks and my jacket still smells like Oud Satin Mood, and it's gorgeous. Honestly, I think took me by surprise. I didn't think I would like it, but I love it. It is like a smooth oud fragrance. Opening's a little bit sharp, but after that kind of wears away, you're left with this stunning fragrance. I feel powerful, I feel sexy when I wear it. So yeah, Oud Satin Mood by Maison Kurkdjian is also on my list. I have got 2 from the brand Kayali. I don't know if it's actually a niche fragrance, but Kayali don't do clothes, so I guess it's not really designer. But yeah, so I've got 2 from Kayali. I've got Vanilla 28 and Deja Vu. Vanilla 28 I think is a really just simple vanilla fragrance. It's so simple that I'm like, is it worth it because it doesn't perform that well? But I went through my little bottle and I just thought, you know what, I wear this so much, especially in the winter time. I have perfume sitting in my collection that I reach for now and again, but if a perfume I love and I'm wearing all the time, like why wouldn't I buy the big bottle? It is not very complex. I mean, there's a little bit of like that brown sugar vanilla to it. It's not just a vanilla fragrance, but and it's almost a little bit boozy, and I like that. Yeah, it's not complicated, it's not groundbreaking, but I do think it's a staple and a great perfume to mix with other fragrances. I have mixed this with a number of fragrances and it adds that vanilla and coziness to it. So yeah, that's Vanilla 28 by Kayali. And the other one is Deja Vu, the White Flowers. Again, it doesn't perform that well, and it's really disheartening because I love this fragrance. This fragrance is actually possibly one of my favorite scents. It's definitely in my top 5 favorite scents. The smell itself is absolutely divine. It is a white floral fragrance that's not very mature. Sometimes white florals can lean a little bit too mature for me, but this perfume is just so grown and so sexy. Like really, I just think of a really stunning, gorgeous, that girl when I think of Deja Vu White Flower. And it's got this base note, like a warmth to it. The base has got maybe some of that vanilla, bit of amber. That's what I get. I don't know if it's actually in there, but it just doesn't last that long, but I just love it so much. So I've added it to my wish list. Kind of sits closer to the skin. It lasts a fair while, but it doesn't like project. So yeah, definitely maybe a bit more for like cozy dates. Deja Vu White Flower by Kayali is on my wish list. That concludes my perfume wishlist video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched to the very end, I really appreciate you. Let me know if there are some perfumes that you have smelt in the past or recently, or perfumes that you've heard a lot about that you would like to purchase. I would love to know. Maybe I will add it to my wish list too. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day and take care of yourselves. Bye.